Hey guys, this is Greg Wood, and this is my new YouTube channel, Seven Woods. I'm going to be talking about investment strategies, portfolios, what you can do to help make you more money. I also want to talk about real estate, something that I have a strong liking to, and I have a lot of different real estate to keep my portfolio as diverse as I can get it. Today, in this introductory video, I'm going to be talking about the 8 reasons on why I think you need to sell your rental property. And I'm going to start right off, get right into it. On the first reason why I think you need to sell your rental property is the current market conditions we have right now. Right now, there is no inventory. We don't have enough sellers in the market, which is in turn making it very difficult for all the buyers that are out there trying to find a property that they want to purchase. So realtors are getting on social media. They're doing all different things they can think of to try and figure out how they can get you to list your property. So with the market the way it is right now, it's hard to ignore the fact that you can probably get top dollar for your rental property. There's some issues that go along with that. One of the reasons that a lot of sellers are trying to push off the sale of their property has to do with the pandemic we're in right now. They don't want people in their homes. They don't want to have to disinfect. Obviously, it's a chore anyways when you have to have people coming in and cleaning all the time anyways, just to make sure that your property is going to be clean and look presentable as the potential buyers come through. But now we've got the pandemic going on. It just makes it that much more difficult. Having to disinfect and everything else. Yes, the realtors are doing everything they can. Gloves, sanitizer, all being used, whatever they can think of to try and make sure that the whole experience is good all the way around. But still, not enough people are selling, but buyers are everywhere right now. They are not ignoring the fact that we have the lowest interest rates in history. It's absolutely insane to think that you can purchase a home 30 years fixed rate mortgage for under 3%, 2.9% in some cases, and that's not being ignored. It is an excellent time to buy a property. So if you have that rental property, listing it would not be something you should put off. This is a great time to do it, and that's the very first reason, and probably the most important at this time, why I think you need to list your rental property. The second reason that you need to sell your rental property has to do with the interest rates themselves. I touched on it a little bit. So at 3%, 2.9%, even maybe in 2.8 in some stretch cases, the interest rates are the lowest they ever have been, and you need to take advantage of that. This could be something that temporarily could make its way through the end of the year, but maybe it isn't. Maybe it'll last a little bit longer, but I think, in my personal opinion, there's going to be an economic turn here coming soon, and rates will change. Into 2021, I think when you look at the statistics, they're going to stay low at least through 2020, but we're going to have a change in 2021. There's just no doubt about it. I can't see how we would be keeping these historically low interest rates for any longer than we are having right now. So with that, the lack of inventory, the ability for you to get top dollar, asking price and above is very real, and I think that's something that is very achievable for most. When you're listing a property, of course you're going to do all the right things to make sure it looks presentable and make sure you get a nice property to list. But even the ones that are out there right now are whatever the buyers can get their hands on. So the interest rates are historically low, insane levels. Don't pass it up. If you're thinking about buying a property, it's definitely a time to do it as well. But with the interest rates where they are, that's why you can't ignore them to sell your own rental property. So the lack of inventory has been creating bidding wars among the buyers themselves. Whatever comes on the market, as fast as it comes on the market, you literally have a time clock at that point, days. Sometimes it's even less than that, down to hours before the buyers are coming out of the woodwork trying to bid on that property at or above asking to make sure they can secure the property that they want. With the interest rates that we have right now, the inventory is not where it needs to be. So this is just what the buyers just have to do if they want to buy something right now. And of course, with the uncertainty of the future, with a pandemic going on, nobody knows what's going to happen. So buying a piece of property is a huge decision. They want to be able to secure the property that they have, and as soon as they can get it. So guys, the third reason why I think you need to sell your rental property has to do with realtor commissions. Because there's such a low inventory, the realtors are trying to do whatever they can to bring the buyers in. With the buyers coming in, you currently have a normal 6% commission rate that you're going to have with listing with a realtor. With the lack of inventory and the sellers unwilling to come out, it's creating opportunities for the sellers to negotiate their realtor rates. So 6% is the norm, but there's no reason why you can't ignore that and try and negotiate your own 5-4%, whatever you think you can do. I think with property coming on the market, the realtors are going to be willing to negotiate, but they want the property, they want to move inventory, they want to be able to help you out, and they want to be able to get the listing on the books because they know they're going to have buyers. They know that that property is not going to sit on there very long. They can do a quick turnaround and get your property sold within the month without even thinking about it. So they're definitely more willing to negotiate that rate. Something to think about is negotiating that all the way down as far as you can get it. 3% should not be unheard of in the current market that we're sitting in right now. Okay guys, now we're at number 4. So this one is an obvious one, but it's still one that applies just about any way you look at it, and that's paying down debt. If you have some high interest credit cards, you got the car loans, things you've been getting backed up on, and you got that realtor property sitting there with all that equity built up. Now is the time to sell that rental property, pay down your debt, and get ahead of the game. The high interest credit cards are just going to keep adding up over time. You know that when you have anywhere from a 15% to 18% interest rate, that is going to keep adding up and it's going to add up quickly. Definitely outweigh a lot of the other costs that you could be looking at on that rental property. So the best thing would be to cut it loose, pay down your debt, get the car loans paid, college loans, whatever you have. Now's the time to think about getting that taken care of. Get you ahead. It'll leave you with more disposable income for the month. And now you don't have that rental property to worry about anymore. And now that we're done with number 4, and we're halfway through our 8 reasons to sell your rental property, now's the time I want to go ahead and promote this channel. I want you to smash the like button, hit the notification bell. I want you to be able to get these videos that I'm going to be putting out so I can help you to a better financial future. So remember, smash it. It's right there. Go ahead and do it now. Please don't forget, it helps me, it can help you. It's a win-win. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, guys, now we're at number 5. Number 5 has to do with the taxes that you could be incurring from your current rental property. Of course, with everything going on, property taxes, they're going up. It just happens. I don't care what market you're in. I don't care what location of the country you're in. It's very rare that your property tax is going to go down for that rental property. I know mine are. Mine have gone up. I've appealed, I've done different things to try and get ahead of it, but you know how that goes. Long drawn out process can become a huge pain. So the right thing to do would be to sell that rental property, get ahead, get away from those taxes that you're going to have to incur as a result of the increase annually that you're going to have. Okay, now leading in with the second half of the tax reason that you can sell your rental property has to do with taking advantage of a tax deferral. Avoiding that capital gains, which you know you can make on the equity themselves. Uncle Sam's going to have his hand out and he's going to want to take a good chunk of that profit that you're going to be netting as a result of your rental property. But you can roll that in tax deferral and you can get away with having to do the capital gains tax. Now, of course, there's stipulations with that, possibly having to turn it around within 45 days, depending on the situation. But if you have something else lined up and you have another investment that you want to get your hands on, this would be the way to go. Avoid that capital gains, keep more money in your pocket. That's the way to do it. Okay guys, now we're at number 6 in the 8 reasons to sell your rental property. And this is another obvious one. You don't want to deal with it anymore. I know with my rental properties, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. Even if you have good tenants in there, you know things are still going to come up. I had my house just last year. Had a storm come through, a tree in the backyard, massive branch comes down, lands on the roof. penetrates the roof, water inside, huge expense. And, had to figure out what to do with the tenants during that time period when I was getting everything fixed, and because they had a house that they couldn't live in at that point. Huge burden. As just one example of many different that are out there. I've had numerous replacement of parts, major parts within the house itself, and hot water heater, AC units, all huge expenses that have come up in the last 3 years. And you know what? After time and time again, you're dealing with that over and over, you don't want to deal with it anymore. Relieve your stress, sell the property, get rid of that huge burden that's going to be on your shoulders, because these things are going to happen. They're going to continue to happen. I don't care if you replace everything in the house. Eventually something else is going to come up that you haven't even thought of yet. So go ahead. This is the number 6 reason to sell your rental property. Don't think about it. Just go ahead and do it. Okay, guys, now we're at number 7 of 8 reasons why you need to sell your rental property. And that's because your good renters just left. You may have had some good tenants in for several years. They've been outstanding and paying on time. You don't have to worry about any fees that you have to charge anybody because you're getting the check in the mail when you need it. More or less, they leave you alone unless something major comes up. These are all attributes of having good tenants. And of course, when you have a rental property, this is what we all shoot for, but it always doesn't happen that way. When those people leave and you're trying to get some new to come in, you got to go through the whole process. We got to do credit checks. We got to check backgrounds. We got to maybe get some references of these individuals to make sure that they're going to be good tenants for you. Or you can just go ahead and skip all that and just list your property. The odds of you getting in the same type of renters in, if you do your homework, obviously I'd say better than average. However, you got to be picky. You got to go through the process. You got to try and find the right people that are looking for the property that you have that are going to be historically good at paying. And the only way to know that for sure is once you get them in there and you start the process. Sometimes it's going to take you several months before you even realize if you got any good ones or not. Okay, guys, now we're on the very last, number 8 of the 8 reasons why you need to sell your rental property, and that has to do with just a new investment strategy. Maybe you need some diversification. Maybe there's just some stocks. Maybe you got a feeling in the way the market's going to turn, but you need some money to be able to invest. Obviously, there's a lot of options out there. You don't quite have the funds to be able to free up to start looking at different avenues of your investments. Go ahead and sell that rental property, free up the money that you need, and start investing where you need. Maybe you got somebody that's got a new business that you want to try and buy into and help them be successful. So guys, that wraps up my 8 reasons to sell your rental property. Go ahead, take my advice, look through everything, and make your own decision based on the information I have. But I have a feeling if you go with what I'm talking about, it's going to pay out for you. You're going to do well. You're going to list your property. You're going to get above asking, and everybody's going to have a good amount of money to reinvest or put wherever you need to do it. Pay your debt, move it to a different location, build your savings. When is it not a good time to build savings? So go ahead. All right, guys, now that we're done, we got through my very first video. Please go ahead, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be coming out with more videos just like this on at least a weekly basis. So tune in, see what we got for you next week, and I look forward to seeing you guys then. Again, hit the like button. It's important. It helps me, helps you grow the channel, get more people on their way to a better future in investing, business, real estate, the whole 9. We're going to talk about it. We're going to do it here, and it's going to be good. I can't wait to keep doing this with you guys. I'm excited about it, and I'll talk to you next week. We'll see you then. Thanks, guys.